Hello, hello, hello to all you wisdom walkers out there on what is truly Memorial Day weekend. This is Jojo Maria and Saroma coming to you with Astrology for Self Mastery, a special report because we have a very rare blue moon, full blue moon in the sign of Sagittarius. And I'm going to break all of that down for you as we get going here. Yeah. So I hope everyone's been having a good weekend, some quiet, some rest and peacefulness because there's so much going on, right? In so many levels in so many ways. And this moon, which you could see last night, and it was really powerfully full, and we should be able to see it tonight. Again, if you don't have any clouds in the sky, but anyway, you will feel its energy, and it really is, it's quite magnificent and stunning. We last had a blue moon in 2020. Yeah. And we will not have another one. Are you ready? 2053. And if I'm still alive, I'll be 96 years old. So we need to relish and enjoy this blue moon right now. Absolutely. Hey, Carmine, how are you, my darling? Good to see you. Good to feel you. When I see I'm like the romper room. I don't know. Other baby boomers remember romper room, and she'd have her mirror up which didn't have any glass in it, was just a frame, and she said, "I can see all of you out there playing," and then she started calling out names, and you wanted to make sure that your name was called. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Emily SP722, thank you so much for that feedback. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, and for those of you just listening, comment is the Moonlight Sonata was exquisite. Thank you. And that's my piano and preface for, oh, great. I'm glad you're doing well, Carmen. We're going to talk soon. It's coming. It's coming this week. In fact, it's coming. But yeah, I offered up the Moonlight Sonata for this beautiful, beautiful blue moon night that we have. And, I'll tell you, Emily and others, this is a piece that I started playing. It's probably one of my first classical music pieces that I started playing, and I was probably about 8 years old. Um, and so it's really great to be able to play it now and give it more expression and coloring rather than just following what, is on the page, but to really feel it and express it. And again, the energy that we have today is just really, really amazing. Yeah. Oh, Emily says it opened my heart. Thank you so much for that. That was my intention. Absolutely. Karma says, awesome. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much. So let me step back and do some reminders about the energy of May because I'm not going to talk a lot of aspects. I'm only going to go from the 24th to the 31st, but it's such a beautiful combination in regards to what this month has been about. So here we go with our quotes. The theme for May, the closing of May, is the historic threshold. May 2026 will be understood in history as one of the most significant single months of this decade. The combination of lunations, planetary stations, cycle openings, and major transits it has contained is unusual even in a year as astrologically loaded as this one. The Sagittarius Blue Moon is the moment that month becomes a threshold rather than just a period of time. And that's from Kathy Gallagher, an astrologer, a new one I found. And then for my buddies in Moon Omens, they say these days many of us will gain awareness of what is no longer working in our lives, and the unfolding of events may lead us to move in a new direction that we wouldn't have considered before. What may initially seem inconvenient or destabilizing could open doors that would not have opened otherwise. Yeah, very, very true. Also, my astral butterfly tells us may ask us to trust the process. If something is falling apart, it's because it was supposed to. If an opportunity knocks, answer the door. Let the universe do its work and trust that the chaos has a plan. Because of Uranus's prominence, May 2026 is likely to be filled with unforeseen events, breakthroughs, and sudden changes. This is not about disruption for its own sake. Uranus's activation and recent ingress into Gemini are meant to liberate us from what is no longer meant for us and redirect us toward a path that is more aligned with our uniqueness. Yes, and that's totally what we want. Totally. And then Molly McCord and YouTuber Intuitive Astrology said this month will evolve you emotionally and require determined action into the new chapters of your life. Wow. Wow. That's pretty powerful, right? Yeah. But we're feeling that, right? We're all feeling that. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So our impact days for this final bit of aspects this month was the 25th, the 28th, and of course today, the 31st, because we have this beautiful blue moon. And what I forgot to mention earlier in the month with my videos is that May is the celebration of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And so, as I always like to do, I would like to share with you a hidden figure from this part of our cultural group here in the United States. And this is Qian Xiang Wu, the First Lady, also called the Queen of Physics. So, I'm going to wrap down to you about this woman because I just learned about her and I was blown away. Chinese American nuclear physicist Qian Xiang Wu, I'm really supposed to say the Wu first, so I'll try to do that. Also known as the First Lady of Physics, contributed to the Manhattan Project, that was the development of the atomic bomb, and made history with an experiment that disproved a hypothetical law in quantum physics and was snubbed by the Nobel Committee for her contribution. Born in a small town of Li Ho, located near Shanghai, China, on May 31st, 1912, so this is her heavenly birthday, to Zhang Yi and Fan Hua Fan. Wu Qianxiang was the only daughter and the middle child of three children. Education was important to the Wu family. Her mother, a teacher, and her father, an engineer, encouraged her to pursue science and mathematics from an early age. She attended one of the first elementary schools that admitted girls, Mingday Women's Vocational Continuing School, which was founded by her father. After graduating in 1934, with a bachelor's in science and with top honors at one of the oldest and most prestigious institutions of higher learning in China, which is Nanking University. In 1936, she was accepted into the University of California at Berkeley to pursue her doctorate. By 1940, she accepted an offer from Princeton University as the first female instructor ever hired to join the faculty. In 1944, she joined the Manhattan Project at Columbia University, where she helped answer a problem that the physicist Enrico Fermi couldn't ascertain. And you got to know that Oppenheimer and Fermi were the ones behind the nuclear bomb. So she solved something that they couldn't figure out. After leaving the Manhattan Project in 1945, Wu spent the rest of her career in the Department of Physics at Columbia as the undisputed leading experimentalist in beta decay and weak interaction physics. Now, here's where the injustice shows up. After being approached by two male theoretical physicists to support a project, Ms. Wu is the one who was able to achieve something worthy of the Science Nobel Prize. Unfortunately, although this led to a 1957 Nobel Prize for the two men she worked with, Wu was excluded, as were many other female scientists during this time. This is 1957, y'all, the year I was born. Wu was awarded aware of gender bias, injustice, and at an MIT symposium in October of 1964, she stated, I wonder whether the tiny atoms and nuclei, or the mathematical symbols, or the DNA molecules have any preference for either masculine or feminine treatment. Despite this disrespect, Ms. Wu was honored with many other accolades throughout her career and became known as the first lady of science in the United States. She was the first woman to receive an SCD from Princeton University, that was in 1958, and was awarded many honorary degrees. Wu Qianxiang died from complications of a stroke on February 16, 1997, in New York City at the age of 84. Her cremated remains were buried in China on the grounds of her first school, and on June 1, 2002, a bronze statue of Miss Wu was placed in the courtyard to commemorate her life. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Hidden figures, hidden figures. But now you know, and you can look up some more information about her if you want. There's a lot online, which is really cool. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. Yeah. And so also in the line of injustice, of just some things that are popping up, and I keep saying to everybody I talk to who I'm counseling, and just hang in there because wondrous things are coming. And so we're seeing a lot of shifting going on in the consciousness, in human consciousness. And here's one that just popped up. Pope Leo the 14th made a historic apology this past Monday for the Holy See's, that's a Catholic, what they call their whole government, the Holy See's role in legitimizing slavery and for having failed to condemn it for centuries, calling the Vatican's record a wound in Christian memory. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Carmen says, yes, I know. I know. And countries like Ghana, which was very prominent in, where so many of us came out of, in that area, what they call the Gold Coast. But they responded back and said, thank you, thank you, thank you, Pope Leo. Has he heard anything from the United States yet? Hmm, I would be surprised. But anyway, this is amazing. He's the first pontiff to do this in centuries, right? And they're supposed to be followers of Christ. Pope Leo, you definitely going to heaven because you're doing the right things on so many levels. Yeah. He also addressed AI, the dangers of AI, at the same time that he was also talking this. So you can look up Pope Lee. He's busy. He's doing cleanup. He's trying to really be the kind of spiritual leader that this world deserves and needs. Yeah. How wonderful. Yeah, I really appreciate his level of integrity and leadership. Absolutely. Thank you, Tracy. And he come from Chicago. He from South Chicago. He's Chicago tough, right? He a White Sox fan, so yeah, he down. He's down. So we are, of course, still in fact, coming into the heart of Gemini season. So happy birthday to all those Geminis out there, my friend Susan Neach and my cousin Kenneth Brown. Both have birthdays today. And yeah, Gemini, this is a powerful time for you. Uranus is really in your sign. Absolutely. So here we go. We're coming back to Sunday, May the 24th. That was last week. And on this day, we had the Sun in Gemini sextiling Neptune in Aries. So you're going to see the interesting aspects leading up to this full blue moon. And this last Sunday was a great day for visionaries as the world is wide open today during this dreamy aspect. It encouraged us to use both logic and intuition to better understand any situation and use it to your advantage. Manifest your thoughts into life. And that's that whole message about working from the inside out, which is what we should all be doing right now. And then on Monday, the 25th, and I put this in because this is what Astro Butterfly wanted us to be really aware of. And this is an overlay to the energies on the 25th and the 26th. But she says we have Pluto square Mars and it's trining the sun at the same time. This Pluto 1 2 calls for a deeper kind of spring cleaning. Whatever has been running on, I can't do this, becomes visible for what it is, an excuse as we use it to fuel a version of ourselves that no longer needs it. So again, talking about this energy of where we really get defeated, or we invalidate ourselves, or we listen to other people's invalidation. Yeah, like this energy is coming to help reveal that and break that open. So that was Monday and going into Tuesday. But here on Monday, we had Mars in Taurus squaring Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. It's tradition versus innovation, as this competitive aspect makes it difficult to work with others. Rebel against authority, but remember to pick your battles well. And also remember that innovation will always get a jump on tradition. That's just the way the universe works. Shay. And then on Tuesday, the 26th, we had the sun in Gemini trining, it's a flow aspect, Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. And this was a good day to bring out your natural charms, as the right word can have anyone eating out of the palm of your hand. This is a great day to boost your reputation and avoid listening to any gossip. Yeah, it's the most important part of that message. So, again, in all of this energy on those 2 days, again, trying to reveal where it is that we are not holding ourselves big enough, that we're telling ourselves, I can't do it. Yeah. And then we jump to Thursday, the 28th, and here we have the asteroid Ceres entering Gemini. And Ceres is that dwarf planet in the asteroid belt between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter, first discovered in 1801. Ceres was a Roman goddess of agriculture, grain crops, fertility, and motherly relationships. Nurture your curious mind over the next several weeks as our minds can grow as we adapt to new situations. So important. Use this energy to enhance your communication with others and grow your network. Absorb wisdom from others. Ceres will spend an extended period transiting and occasionally retrograding in Gemini, ultimately remaining in the sign through early May of 2027. This is wonderful. This is a very, very powerful aspect. It is some of the divine feminine energy that is rolling in as prophesized. And so it's so great that we're going to have this with us, for a whole year. So wonderful, 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 good aspect. And also on the same day of the 28th, we have Cancer. I'm sorry, Venus in Cancer squaring Saturn in Aries. And this is a stressful aspect. It can add unnecessary pressure to any relationship. Delays, distance, and criticism can ruin a happy home, as it can be difficult to find common ground. consider spending time by yourself, meaning don't engage. Yeah, that's a real, yeah, powerful square there, pushing up a lot of emotional tension. Absolutely. Somebody wants to be right. And then we come to today, and I have to find it. Give me 1 second. I know it here. There it is. Woo! We get our full blue moon, and it's in the sign of Sagittarius. And my subtitle for this is about new revelations for moving forward into your new life, our new lives. Yeah. And this is so important, folks. It's so important. Um, this energy is really a culmination of what we've been going through since October of 2025. The universe has been telling us, get ready, know that you're being prepared, but this is a time for newness, new things, new ideas, new understandings, new perceptions, all of that. And so this beautiful, rare blue moon is bringing an energy to really support us with breaking through into these new revelations that will support us in going into what I always call the new earth. Yeah. So I've got several bits of information here from several astrologers. This is really interesting. This is a very, although it's clear, it's a blue moon and it's rare, but I'm going to tell you the intricacies, the overlays of information involved in this time is just so powerful and intense that, the astrologers weren't really easily breaking it down, and I'm always looking for, okay, where's some common threads among them? And sometimes they were hard to find, but I think that I've broken it down and siphoned it and synthesized it enough for you to grab on what it is that calls to you. So when you're hearing what I'm sharing, think about it in that way. What is it that's calling to me? Make it work for you because there's so much. It is so multiplied, so amplified that it's gonna work for you. There's something in this that's gonna work for you. That's gonna be like, "There it is." Yeah, yeah. So, here we go. First, I wanna share this wonderful, quote from, Chun Yi Lin, Master Chun Yi Lin. He's the developer of Qigong, Spring Forest Qigong that he brought from China when he came. And he says the blue moon carries very special energy because it is rare and amplified. Spiritually, it opens a doorway for us to go deeper into transforming old karmic patterns and to reconnect with the highest vision for our lives. This moon's message is clear. Believe in the impossible. Once in a blue moon, the universe opens a door that can change your entire life. And this rare blue moon in the year of the fire horse in Chinese astrology feels like one of those moments that the impossible becomes possible. This blue moon reminds us that transformation begins with belief. It is a perfect time to reflect on the beliefs you carry, especially your beliefs around relationships, healing, happiness, and what is truly possible for your future. Isn't that beautiful? Ah, I just love that message. Like he just kind of nailed it. It's all there. The impossible becomes possible. We have to believe. And so here's Blue Moon Revelations Part 2, because I talked to you during the Scorpio full moon that opened up this month. And that was, again, cracking open things, revealing secrets, revealing what was hidden, so that when we come around this time, we're going to be able to put it all together. So on May 31st, 2026, we close the month with a full moon at 9 degrees Sagittarius, trine Neptune and Saturn in Aries, squaring the nodes, which are in Pisces and Virgo. Having survived Uranus and Pluto, something has shifted, and now there's space to breathe, to look around and to wonder. We may find ourselves in what feels like a completely different place, even if it's the same living room, the same commute, or the same life. When our perspective shifts, we stop reacting from where we've been and start recognizing what's actually calling us forward. The month comes to an end with a rare blue full moon in Sagittarius. In the sign of the center, this powerful lunation fuels our desire to expand, grow, and broaden our horizons. This event stimulates us to move out of our comfort zone, take new risks, and follow the path that feels true in the moment. These days, we feel hungry for meaning and purpose, and we feel a strong need to create a life that reflects and honors our authenticity and the way we have changed. Absolutely. Absolutely. The Sagittarius Blue Moon trines Saturn and Neptune in Aries and opposes Uranus in Gemini. What does that mean? The opposition to Uranus fuels a general sense of restlessness and continues to emphasize that we are navigating times of strong unpredictability, meaning we in the unknown. The harmonious aspect with Saturn and Neptune supports our ability to stay grounded and have faith in the unfolding of events, even if we don't yet see where we are headed. This blue full moon in Sagittarius is particularly significant for people born with planets or angles in mutable signs, and that is Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and wait for it, Pisces, yeah. They are experiencing a significant shift in perspective and potential turning points in one or more areas of their lives. These people are being asked to trust the path that intuitively calls them and let go of outdated beliefs and narratives that no longer align with who they are becoming. Absolutely. This is so right on, so delicious, and I know many of you listening, watching are aligned with this. You get that. You know you're in the process of becoming. Yeah, the things you're going through are preparing you for something totally new. Some more of these revelations. Sagittarius Blue Moon does not arrive with a gentle finale till the last few weeks. It arrives as an answer to everything May has been asking. A second full moon in a single month doubles the illumination of that month's emotional and heart forward themes. Isn't that a great terminology? Heart forward. Yeah. Where regular full moon brings one wave of culmination and release, a blue moon brings a second one, and it is deeper and more distilled and more difficult to ignore. Yeah, that moon shined into my bedroom window last night. I had to jump because it came out from behind the building, and like all of a sudden, boom, there was this light coming through the window, and I was like, "Oh," so yeah, it's pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful. Um, with the first full moon of the month begins to surface, the blue moon completes. Yes. The emotional material that came up under the Scorpio full moon at the start of May, the things that began to move but were not yet fully resolved, the questions that were open but not yet answered. All of it arrives as a natural point of culmination under the Sagittarius blue moon. The month has been building to this moment, and the moment carries the weight of everything that came before it. And that's from an astrologer writer named Katie Fletcher. Yeah, such good stuff. Such good stuff. Let me see my comment here. Woohoo! The Globetrotter, Juanita says, loving this. Yeah. She just returned from London and the town of Bath, where it's on my bucket list. So it's way cool. Yeah. Yeah. So amazing. So here we go with Katie Gallagher's My Moon Musings. I thought this was really sweet, so I wanted to insert this into these insights and interpretations. So she says the Scorpio full moon on May 1st came to help you to illuminate your fears and desires. Then to help you get regulated and rooted so that you can rise came the Taurus new moon. Now, to help you to leap into your once in a blue moon destiny is a Sagittarius full blue moon. And as the moon opposes Uranus and works with the lunar nodes, you will feel discomfort in any areas of life that have been in some way restricting or limiting you, or where you have been staying small, like we were talking about, and not showing up as all of you, or allowing yourself to grow and expand. Yeah, again, that constricting of who we are and not being aligned with our true purpose. This moon wants you to live, truly live your life and stop existing and waiting for an imaginary future when you will finally do all the things that your heart and soul yearns to do. You'll know deep down where you're being called to go and what you're being called to do. And it'll likely feel big. And I really want you to feel excited rather than afraid of this. Your soul wouldn't call you into this if you weren't ready. Isn't that isn't that just delicious? Yeah. Isn't that just delicious? It's so wonderful. Yeah. And I saw something pop on my phone, and that's, uh that's my friend Denise saying, "I got 2 Sagittariuses in my house." Yeah, yeah, so this full moon is very powerful, absolutely powerful. So here's some more information, and I really like this because this is something we really forget because, when you go from kindergarten to graduating from college, it feels like a straight line. It's really not. So growth is not linear. So here we go. As a blue moon, full moon in Sagittarius peaks, her ruler Jupiter is in Cancer and squaring Chiron in Aries. This square can bring doubts about the higher meaning and purpose of our experiences. We may question our faith and find it challenging to hold ourselves in times of uncertainty. Chiron in Aries is exposing wounds around self trust, self assertion, and having the right to exist and take space. And because Chiron is activated in the very last degree of Aries, part of the sky, our experiences are getting more radical and drastic. Jupiter in Cancer emphasizes the importance of coming into contact with our inner intuitive wisdom instead of searching for answers outside of ourselves. This combination of energies reminds us that our emotions carry wisdom. They always carry a message that needs to be taken into account. In Cancer, Jupiter intensifies the need for emotional honesty, asking us to embrace vulnerability and dare to share the truth of how we feel. Back to the importance of communication during the time of Gemini in Uranus. These days, we have a chance to witness how far we have come and reach more clarity about the meaning of everything that took place throughout the calendar month. On this blue full moon in Sagittarius, we are invited to step back and strive to see the bigger picture of our lives. We have an opportunity to recognize where we lost touch with our authenticity and choose to follow the desires of our hearts. This lunation reminds us that growth is not linear and asks us to trust the path that is revealing itself as we wisdom walk it. Yeah, yeah. So, this is so important. It is so important because, living through these times, it's so easy to throw your hands up in the air like you just don't care, um, and ignore. But this is saying stay the course. It may seem like nothing's happening, like you're not moving. It may feel like you're moving back, but there's no going back. So this is really a call for stay the course. Let the energies of this moon reveal and guide you forward in the way that forward really is for you. And I know about that. Yeah, sometimes it looks like, "Oh my God, what did I do wrong? Why am I here?" But it's because this is an important step before you can experience, "Oh, this is who I've become. This is who I am really." Yeah, it's beautiful stuff. Now, this aspect of the blue moon, the full blue moon trining Saturn about the beliefs worth keeping. Because again, we've been so talking about, right, something needs to be purged, something's got to be released, something's got to be left. But this I like because it's saying there are beliefs that are worth keeping, and we need to be conscious of that. One of the most significant aspects of this full moon is the trine between the Sagittarius moon and Saturn in Aries. And what that trine is doing to the larger Saturn Neptune conjunction, remember that? That has been in the sky's longest running aspect throughout 2025 and 2026. And it's one of the most powerful ones of this century and decade. Absolutely. Saturn and Neptune have been conjunct in Aries for most of the past year, creating a sustained tension between structure and dissolution, things falling apart, between the disciplined building of something real and the idealistic longing for something that may not yet exist in the form we are imagining it. This conjunction has been asking over and over which of our beliefs are grounded enough to build a life from, and which are fantasies we have been mistaking for truth. Absolutely. I'm going to jump to this from Emily. She says that perspective shift has been a game changer. Those fears are most definitely illuminated, creating right relationship with myself. Yes, absolutely wonderful, Emily. Thank you for sharing that. Because again, this is not easy work, folks, by any stretch of the word. It's not easy work. And so, again, we're on this journey and we just have to keep the faith and remember that it is all going to take us to where we really, really, truly need to be. So, here's the second part of beliefs worth keeping. The moon's trine to Saturn temporarily tilts the balance of that ongoing tension toward the building side. Yeah. It creates a brief but significant window where the beliefs that have survived Saturn's audit, because Saturn is the taskmaster and saying, oh no, this ain't going to work. You got to get rid of it. But the ones that have survived Saturn's audit, the ones that remain standing after the test of the past year become visible with unusual clarity, meaning you are going to know. Sagittarius governs our belief systems, our philosophies, and the stories we use to make meaning of our experience. The blue moon illuminating this territory through a trine to Saturn is essentially asking, after everything, what do you still believe? What has held up? What is worth the continued investment of your faith? The beliefs that answer those questions honestly under this lunation are the ones to carry forward. The ones that do not survive the honest examination are the ones to release. Exactly. So this is just a really powerful, contemplated, task for us to do, to really look at, what is really still working for me that I believe and what is not. What has harmed me, what has hurt me, what has disappointed me, but also what has validated me, what has empowered and inspired me, what has really supported me to be able to be a self master, to be in my personal sovereignty. Yeah, that's the questions that we ask. Just love it. And then, last but not least, what this lunation is asking of you. Step back, look at the whole month rather than any single piece of it. The Scorpio full moon, the Taurus new moon, I'm sorry, the Scorpio full moon, the Taurus new moon, the Pluto station, Venus entering Cancer, Gemini season opening, Uranus in Gemini activating, all of it has been part of a single coherent movement. The Sagittarius Blue Moon is the moment when the movement reveals its direction. Pay attention to what comes clear under this lunation. Release what needs to be released, the beliefs, the narratives, the ways of understanding your own life that have outlived their usefulness. Woo! Yes, the Sagittarius Blue Moon is the last and the most expansive illumination of the month. What it lights up is real. Trust what you see under it. And that's from Kathy Gallagher. Just take a moment to look at that. Look at that. And not only because I have to jump up and get some water, but it's really powerful. And I feel like we've been waiting, we've been waiting for an energetic like this. Those of us who are wisdom walking, those of us who are committed to our annual and collective commitments. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Yeah, somebody's interpretation of it was that's what they were saying, like, this is it. Huh. And so there you have it. There you have it. The energies, the insights, the interpretations of this blue moon that I synthesized out to share with you. I also, as always, right now, want to remind you this cosmic reminder about the grand trine minor, the magic triangle, these three outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, coming together and giving us a reason to be really optimistic about our collective future because they are harmoniously and aligned in an extremely rare configuration. And this will keep influencing us into 2028. Of course, it affects Aries, Gemini, and Aquarius most, but however, this amazing period of discovery and revelation will benefit everyone. Yeah, absolutely. And I also, again, want to stress the importance of us continuing every day, more than once a day, to pray for world peace and to believe in that the unbelievable can happen, that the impossible can happen. I also want to note that, this is really the Memorial Day weekend. I don't know why they shifted it to a week early because it was on May 30th in 1865 that the freed slaves in Charleston, South Carolina, came together first to bury the dead soldiers, whether they were Union or Rebel, to also tend to the wounded, and then they decided let's celebrate. And they did a parade. Of course, they had some barbecue. That's where barbecuing on Memorial Day really comes from. And although, we use Memorial Day to really heighten people's consciousness about the fallen soldiers, the people who have given their lives, here in the United States, especially for this country, but it's also a day to celebrate the end of war. And I don't think we remember that enough about Memorial Day. It was a day of celebration that the Civil War had ended, and now let's lay down our arms and have some barbecue, you know? And so, yeah, world peace. We really, really have to keep praying for that. So, remember, remember. And yes, today is going to be my peaceful day. We must always, always do that every day. Don't leave that out of your routine. The venerable monks, put their lives on the line to bring attention to the fact that, we'll have peace in the world when we know how to maintain peace within ourselves and around us. And it's an inside out job. Absolutely. Emily SB 722 said, "Little known Black history facts." Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Tracy. Yeah, Tracy, give me some symbols there. I love it, love it. And so I do want to remind you or share for the first time for some of you my upcoming live streams for June. I am going to do astrology for self mastery with the new moon and the full moon on Sundays, June 14th, and then on the 28th. The elemental wisdom for May, I'll do this week on Thursday, June 4th. And then my monthly Wisdom Walk talk will be on Sunday, June 21st, my mother's heavenly birthday. And it will be us reviewing the annual commitments in terms of where are we at with them, what's happening, how's it happening. So that should be really, really nice. So, once again, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for participating with your comments. I so appreciate that. Get some rest. This moon is really energetically charged, so make sure that you allow yourself to get some rest. Enjoy it if you can see it, when it comes out tonight, and know that wondrous, wondrous things are coming, and we deserve it. We totally, totally deserve it. So I'll see you in a couple of weeks at live streaming. And in the meantime, may you be well, may you be happy, and may you be peaceful. Yes. And God bless the monks. They're going to Thailand now, so it should be wonderful. Bye bye. Yes, Q. This energy ain't no joke. Oh, Emily, you are so welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate you for opening this up too. Thank you.